My friends, I want you to listen very carefully because what I'm about to say is not just another speech, it's a wake-up call. In my life, I have learned that if you want to be strong, if you want to win, you can never afford to ignore the partner who can lift you higher. The United States today is at a crossroads, and the truth is simple: we cannot afford to lose India. Not tomorrow, not 10 years from now, not ever. This is about power, this is about security, this is about the future of freedom. If you care about America's strength, if you care about your children's future, then you need to hear this message all the way to the very end. So sit tight, open your ears, and let me pump you up with the truth. When we talk about strength, we always think about muscle. We think about lifting heavy, pushing past the pain, showing what we're made of. But strength is not only about the body. It's also about people, about nations, about the willpower to stand tall in the face of challenges. And today, if we are honest, the greatest strength in the world is not just in weapons or in wealth. It is in people, in democracy, in numbers. And that is why we cannot, under any circumstances, risk losing India. India is not just another country on the map. India is 1.4 billion people, the largest democracy in the world. That means 1.4 billion voices shouting for opportunity, for freedom, for a better life. It means 1.4 billion dreams that will shape the future of our planet. And when you have that kind of population, that kind of energy, you are talking about a force that cannot be ignored. You cannot look away. You cannot treat it like a secondary partner. You must treat it as the vital ally it is. Now let me tell you something. Democracy is like training. It takes discipline. It takes sacrifice, it takes commitment. And India has been training for decades, building its democratic muscle, holding elections where hundreds of millions of people line up to vote, making their voices heard, proving that freedom can work even in the most complex, diverse society on earth. That is not weakness, that is strength. That is the kind of partner America needs if we want freedom to survive in this century. Think about the alternatives. Around the world, we see authoritarian regimes rising up, crushing dissent, silencing voices, rewriting the rules of the game. Do you really think America can stand alone against all of that? Do you really think one nation, no matter how powerful, can hold back the tide of dictatorships? No! We need allies who share our vision. We need partners who will fight with us, not against us. And India is exactly that partner. When you look at the sheer scale of India's democracy, you realize something important: numbers matter. Numbers mean people. People mean power. Power means influence. And in this age of global competition, influence is everything. If America loses India, we lose not just an ally, we lose credibility. We lose the ability to say we are the leaders of the free world. Because how can you lead the free world if you turn your back on the largest democracy that exists within it? That would be like a bodybuilder skipping leg day. It makes no sense. You cannot be strong if you ignore the foundation. And India is the foundation of democracy in Asia. But it goes deeper. It's not only about democracy as an idea, it's about democracy as a practice, as a living, breathing thing. In India, you see it alive in the streets, in the debates, in the disagreements, in the noise of a billion voices arguing, demanding, pushing for change. That is the messy beauty of freedom. And that is exactly why the United States must stand shoulder to shoulder with India, because together we prove that freedom works even when it's hard, even when it's chaotic, even when it takes longer. We prove that freedom is worth it. Now, I want you to picture this. Imagine a world where America and India are divided, where that partnership breaks down. Who benefits? Not the people of India, not the people of America. The ones who benefit are the authoritarian powers, the rivals who want to see democracy fail, who want to see freedom crumble. If we are not careful, they will step in, they will whisper in the ears of a billion people, and they will try to pull them away from us. And if that happens, then the United States does not just lose a partner, we lose the fight for the soul of the 21st century. We cannot let that happen. We must make it crystal clear that America and India are not just allies of convenience. We are allies of conviction. We believe in the same values: freedom, opportunity, democracy, dignity. And with India's strength in numbers, those values do not just survive, they multiply, they expand across borders. They inspire other nations. They show the world that the future does not belong to tyrants. It belongs to free people who stand together. So let me be direct. If America wants to stay strong, if America wants to lead, then we must recognize India for what it is, not a secondary partner, not a backup, not a substitute. India is essential. India is family, and family is not something you risk losing. Family is something you protect, you invest in, you stand beside, no matter what. This is the truth, and the sooner we accept it, the stronger we will all be. Because when 1.4 billion people stand with you, you don't just have an ally, you have an unstoppable force. When we think about the future of strength, we can't just think about tanks, planes, or armies. True strength today is also measured in economics, in innovation, in who is creating, who is building, who is leading the world forward. And if you look around right now, there is one country whose economy is not just moving forward, but sprinting, growing, building muscle every single day. And that country is India. For too long, people underestimated India's economic potential. They saw poverty, they saw challenges, and they thought it would take generations to overcome. But look at what is happening today. India is one of the fastest growing economies in the world. This is not theory, this is reality. Every year, millions of new workers enter the workforce. Every year, new companies rise, new technologies are born, new industries expand. This is a nation that is pumping economic iron, and the results are clear. India is not the future of the global economy. It is already becoming the present. Now, why does this matter for the United States? Because in today's world, growth is power. If you want to stay strong, you need partners whose strength pushes you higher. You can't do it alone. America's own growth, our jobs, our industries, our prosperity, all of these are tied to international partnerships. And when you have a partner like India with its size, its speed, its hunger to succeed, that's not just another friend. That's a rocket booster for the future. Think about the size of the Indian market. We are talking about over 1 billion consumers, young, ambitious, ready to buy, ready to innovate, ready to invest. This is not just an opportunity for American companies, it's a necessity. If America walks away, someone else will step in. And we all know who those someone else's are: rivals who do not share our values, who want to dominate markets, who want to control supply chains, who want to bend the rules in their favor. If the U.S. allows India to drift away, we are not just losing business deals, we are losing the foundation of our future economic strength. And let me make this clear, India is not only a market, India is a powerhouse of talent. Just look at the CEOs running some of America's biggest companies. They are Indian-born, trained in the discipline of hard work, innovation, and vision. These are leaders shaping technology, finance, healthcare, and more. If that is happening here, imagine what is happening across India itself, with millions of young engineers, scientists, entrepreneurs pushing forward, inventing, disrupting, building the industries of tomorrow. If America wants to stay competitive in artificial intelligence, in clean energy, in digital technology, then we need India by our side, not across the table with someone else. We must understand that the future will not be written only in Washington, or in New York, or in Silicon Valley. The future will also be written in Bengaluru, in Hyderabad, in Mumbai, in Delhi. These cities are becoming engines of innovation, producing ideas that will shape how we live, how we work, how we connect. If America does not embrace this, if we do not link arms with India now, then we risk falling behind. And trust me, falling behind is not an option. There is another truth here. Economic partnership is not just about numbers. It's about stability. When two nations are tied together in trade, in investment, in growth, they create bonds that cannot be easily broken. These bonds become a shield against division, a guarantee that both nations rise together. If the U.S. wants to build resilience against the shocks of global crisis, whether it's pandemics, whether it's energy shortages, whether it's disruptions in supply chains, then India is a partner we cannot afford to lose. Their scale, their resources, their innovation add strength to our own. And let's be honest, America needs growth. We need jobs, we need investment, we need markets that will fuel our industries for the next 50 years. Without India, we risk stagnation. With India, we unlock possibilities that go beyond imagination. The world is not waiting for us to make up our mind. The competition is already knocking on India's door, offering deals, offering influence, trying to pull them away. And if we hesitate, if we get distracted, if we take this partnership for granted, then we will wake up one day and realize that we have lost the greatest opportunity of our generation. This is why we must act now. This is why we must invest in the partnership, deepen it, strengthen it, and never allow doubt to creep in. Because India's rise is inevitable. The only question is, will America rise alongside them, or will we watch from the sidelines as someone else takes our place? For me, the answer is obvious. If you want to win, you surround yourself with champions. If you want to grow, you train with the best. If you want to stay strong in the future, you hold tight to the partners who are growing stronger every day. India is that partner, and if we are smart, we will never let them go. Because an America with India by its side is not just stronger today, it is unstoppable tomorrow. Strength is not only about how much weight you can lift, it's also about how smart you are when you lift. Any bodybuilder will tell you if you go too heavy without a spotter, you risk crushing yourself. You can be the strongest in the room, but if you have no one behind you, no one watching your back, one mistake and you're finished. The same is true for nations. America is strong, yes, but even America cannot afford to go it alone in a world where rivals are flexing harder than ever. And that is why India is not just an economic partner, not just a friend, but a strategic shield, a spotter who makes sure we don't get crushed under the weight of global competition. Look at what is happening right now. China is expanding its reach across Asia, flexing its muscles in the South China Sea, pressuring neighbors, and trying to rewrite the rules of the world order. Russia is stirring instability, challenging the West, testing the limits of freedom. Do we really think the United States can shoulder all of this on our own? Do we think we can fight on every front without burning out? No, the smartest athlete, the smartest nation knows when to team up, and in Asia, the strongest, most reliable team member America can count on is India. India sits at a critical crossroads geographically and strategically. This is not a small player on the sidelines. This is a nation that borders China, that understands the challenge firsthand, that has lived with the pressure of being right next door to one of the most aggressive powers in the world. India knows what's at stake, and they are not naive about the dangers. That experience, that perspective, makes them an indispensable partner. While some countries waver, while some hesitate, India has already shown the world it can stand firm. Now let's be very clear, the partnership between America and India is not about starting wars, it's about preventing them, it's about balance. When you lift, balance is everything. If the weight shifts too far to one side, you fail. In the same way, global power must be balanced or chaos will follow. India's presence in this balance is what keeps Asia from tipping completely in China's favor. And if America walks away, if we do not strengthen this partnership, then the balance is gone. That would leave us weaker, more exposed, and far more vulnerable than we can afford to be. But it's not only about defense, it's also about projection of power, about showing the world that democracies stand together, that we are not isolated islands, but a united front. India brings credibility in the region that America alone cannot always provide. When India speaks, it is not speaking as a distant superpower, it is speaking as a neighbor, as a fellow Asian nation, as someone who shares the same space and the same risks. Together, America and India send a message that no rival can ignore. Freedom has allies, freedom has strength, freedom has a shield. And let me remind you, this shield is not built overnight. It is built through trust, through cooperation, through years of standing side by side. Every joint exercise, every shared technology, every intelligence exchange builds muscle memory, just like training in the gym. The more you train with your partner, the stronger and more natural the bond becomes. This is exactly what America and India must continue to do, because the threats we face are not slowing down, they are only growing heavier. Imagine for a moment what happens if America hesitates, if we start thinking India doesn't matter. Who steps in? Who tries to pull India away? The answer is obvious. China, Russia, or others who do not share our values. They will offer deals, they will offer promises, but their goal will be to weaken democracy, to divide us, to leave America more isolated than ever. And once India slips away, the shield is gone, and the pressure on America doubles overnight. That is a scenario we cannot afford, not now, not ever. We must recognize this. India is not just a backup, it is the partner that keeps us balanced in the most important region of the world today. Together we are stronger, more secure, more respected. Together we can make sure that the weight of global competition does not crush us, but instead pushes us to become stronger than ever before. So I say this with absolute conviction: if America wants to remain safe, If America wants to remain respected, if America wants to remain powerful, then we cannot, under any circumstances, risk losing India. Because without India, America stands alone. With India, America stands unbreakable. At the end of the day, power is not just about armies or markets or geography. Power is also about values. It is about what you believe in, what you stand for, what you are willing to fight for when everything else is stripped away. And this is where the partnership between America and India becomes something far greater than strategy, far greater than economics. This is where it becomes about identity, about who we are as nations, and about the kind of future we want to build together. Think for a moment about what unites us at the deepest level. Both America and India were born out of the struggle for freedom. Both nations broke away from rulers who tried to hold them down, who tried to tell them what they could and could not be. Both nations were built on the idea that people should decide their own destiny, that opportunity should not be a privilege for the few, but a right for all. That is not just history, that is the foundation of our shared identity. And when two nations share that kind of DNA, it is not a coincidence, it is destiny. We need to remember something. Important values are not just words on paper, they are actions. Democracy, freedom, opportunity, these only survive when people believe in them, when people defend them, when people live them. In India, you see it in the passion of elections, in the debates, in the noise of democracy that refuses to be silenced. In America, you see it in the fight for equality, in the belief that no matter where you come from, you can rise. These are not abstract ideas, they are living realities. And when they come together, when America and India align, they become a force bigger than any weapon, bigger than any rival. But here is the danger. Around the world today, there are forces trying to destroy these values. They want to replace freedom with fear, democracy with dictatorship, opportunity with control. They want to show that the system we believe in is weak, that it cannot survive. And make no mistake, they are watching us closely. They are watching to see if America and India truly stand together, or if we are divided, distracted, too focused on our own struggles to defend what we both believe in. If we let that happen, if we let doubt creep in, then those who oppose freedom win without firing a single shot. That is why the bond between America and India must go beyond deals, beyond strategies, beyond temporary interests. It must be about values, because values are permanent. They do not fade with elections. They do not change with markets. They do not vanish when times get tough. Values endure. And when two nations with the size, the strength, and the willpower of America and India stand together for those values, the world pays attention. The world knows that freedom still has champions. Now, let's think about the generations to come. The young people of India and America, they are not just looking for jobs or technology, they are looking for meaning. They are asking, what kind of world will I inherit? Will it be a world where freedom thrives, or will it be a world where fear rules? That answer depends on the choices we make today. If we strengthen the bond between America and India, if we show our young people that freedom works, that democracy delivers, then we give them a future they can believe in. We give them not just hope, but proof. And here is the truth. The future will not be built by quitters. It will not be built by nations that retreat, that isolate, that turn their back on their partners. The future will be built by those who step forward, who embrace their allies, who invest in values that stand the test of time. America and India together can be that builder, that leader, that unstoppable force. But only if we choose it, only if we commit to it, only if we understand that losing India is not an option. When I think about everything we have talked about, the numbers, the economy, the strategy, it all comes down to this final point. Numbers give us size. The economy gives us strength. Strategy gives us balance. But values give us purpose. Without values, all the rest collapses. With values, all the rest becomes unshakable. That is why this partnership matters more than ever. That is why we cannot let go. Because if we lose India, we lose more than a partner. We lose part of ourselves, part of the hope that keeps freedom alive in this world. And that is a loss we cannot afford. So let us stand firm, let us stand proud, and let us stand together. Because a future built on shared values is not just strong, it is unstoppable.